Hi guys, Andrea Mills here. Today I want to share with you my number one very best tip for saving money. This is something that Tom and I figured out early on in our marriage, and I'm so glad that we did because it has made a huge difference in the course of our life. So my best tip is to stay in a small house. The reason that staying in a small house is going to save you big money is because number one, you're going to have a smaller house payment or lower rent if you're renting something. Our house payment is half of the national average, and that means that we have a lot more money that we can spend on other things. It's going to save you money on your property taxes. I don't know what it's like where you live, but where we live, our property taxes are based on the value of our home. So the bigger the house is, the more valuable it is, and the bigger property tax bill we would have every year. Having a smaller house also means it's less money to heat and cool because there's just less space. So you'll automatically have lower electric bills and natural gas bills or whatever it is that you use to heat and cool. You'll probably save money on electricity too, just because there won't be as many lights being used in the house because it will be smaller. Having a small house also means that you spend less time and less money on cleaning and maintaining the house. You don't need to buy as much cleaning products or, paying somebody to shampoo your carpets and things. Everything just is less because there is less of it to do. A small house also costs less money to furnish because you don't need to buy as much furniture to fill it up. It's just smaller. Staying in a small house also means less money on renovations. If you need to replace the carpets or replace the roof or whatever it is, it's just less of it to be replaced, so it's going to cost less money. And a lot of times you can get nicer things because you don't need to buy as much. Even if you can afford a bigger house, whatever that means to you, if you can be content with where you are, you will be so much more financially secure. You'll be in much less danger of losing what you've got, and you'll have so many more options for what you can do with your money. 11 years ago, when Tom and I started our own business, it would have been so much more difficult to do if we had bought a bigger house and had a bigger house payment. But as it was, staying in a small house meant that it was not difficult for us to have to come up with our house payment during those first, months and even maybe year or two that our money was a little bit iffy. It's also meant for us that we could have a large family because we have so much more money we can spend on the necessities of a lot of children because we aren't spending it on a house payment. For us, we've been able to weather a lot of financial highs and lows because of staying in our small house. When money is tight, it's not a burden to pay our payment, and when we have extra money, we can always pay extra on our house, or we can use that money to fix it up and do things that we want to do to make it work better for us. To me, it's much cheaper to buy or make custom organization systems or items, or even if you wanted to hire a professional to help you organize a small space, than it is to buy a bigger house. And whenever I spend money, sometimes even hundreds of dollars, on something that I need to make it work, I feel good about that because I know that spending a few $100s on this whatever is keeping us from having to spend thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on a bigger house. We all tend to grow up with the idea that the goal in life is to get something bigger, better, nicer, to move up the ladder. But if we can take a second to really step back for a second and think, is that what I actually want? What if I be content? What if I stop acting like where I'm at right now is temporary? What if I accept this? What if I make this be awesome? What if I make this house functional? What if I make this house beautiful the way I want it? Even if it's not my forever home, if I treat it like it's my forever home, I'm going to enjoy it so much more. And it might actually be my forever home. I might really love it and find out that I didn't ever need that bigger house in the first place. And there's so much that I got to have in my life because I wasn't chasing after that dream, and I wasn't wasting so much money for something that I didn't really need or care about. So there's my tip. I hope that it gives you something to think about. If you are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Tom and I have been married for 17 years. We have 8 children that we homeschool in our small house. This is also where our businesses run. So about 1/5 of our little house is actually devoted to our computer repair business. We make family vlogs, homeschool vlogs, and then I do videos on herbal home health care, on cooking and homeschooling, unassisted birth, and I'm sure lots of other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. But if you want to keep having this conversation with me, I hope that you'll subscribe. And for those of you who have already become friends, I want to say thank you for stopping by and visiting with me again today. And we'll talk to you guys again very soon with another video on the topic of secure contentment.